Yo, wake up, man. My main man, Black Holiday and Caramel Gray. I'm 5150. It's the LA Wake Up Show, man. LA Royals in the building, man. Come on, man. Get your thing on, man.
And we are LA Royal. Don't play with me.
LA Royal, 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 LA Royal. In the city where they looking pretty under the stars. You can go from getting it to get like a behind bars. You can slick talk, moonwalk, and count G's. Who the city keep another sucker song named me? Don't it sound so sweet when they hit this hard? Used to be in band rooms on the prison yard, but now we under stars shining bright. In the night it took all that was wrong to make everything right. So tired. Black rag on a snow white Mercedes. My slap got style cause I was raised in the 80s. With 50 on the hook, it ain't nothing but gravy. And Caramel Gray, you know she's such a young lady. Give me what I came to get and make it wet. When that red light, don't I won't quiet on the set. And when we on the air home, so I'ma do my damn best to make sure they don't forget we royal in the West. So fresh, keep calm, girl, a dime on the mic. It's Black Holiday, babe, I know what you like. Got a glow so bright you can't help but come near it. Put your crown on, girl. Let me see.
Hey! What's up, man?
It's growing down, man.
It's growing down?
It's the new norm.
The new norm. The new norm is here. Yes. And guess what?
What?
LA Royal is here. And we have a special guest in the house.
Yeah.
Miss Mila Diamond.
Mila Diamond.
Miss Mila Diamond. As you guys all know, I am Black Holiday, and you are?
5150.
5150. That's how you going now? 5150? I noticed you've been saying that a lot now. 5150. Yes, that's fly though. I like that. I like that. Yes. How you guys doing out there? As you know, LA Royal is back in the house. It's been a long time. We missed you guys.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys missed us, but we're up in here.
Yes.
And we're here with a special guest, Miss Mila Diamond.
Yes.
True royalty, you guys.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This is, I don't know.
The red carpet.
Roll it out. I don't know if you guys know. Hey, listen, Mila got her groove back. She came all the way down to Orange County
and
to the hood. To hang out with her. And you know, I always got to plug my boy, E40, Earl Stevens in the house. We drink to Earl Stevens every
Earl Stevens. I'm every LA because I am royal.
He's royal. Let me have a little sip real quick.
Yes.
Miss Diamond, what are you drinking on?
I'm not saying.
Whoa,
right.
She's mysterious. Look at that. She's not saying.
Mysterious Diamond.
So let's enter. So Miss Diamond, do you give me just maybe a second before I go into your bio? Maybe want to say something about yourself? Who are you?
Who am I? God, that's such a philosophical question.
Such a philosophical.
Oh my God.
Don't answer it. Let me answer it for you.
Yeah.
I got rhetorical questions all day long. Don't get worried now.
All right.
This is just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
All right.
Let me tell you who Mila Diamond is. Mila Diamond is a business and life coach as well as a TEDx public speaking coach. After over 20 years as a management consultant on Wall Street for Fortune 500 companies, Miss Mila left her corporate career to pursue her passion of coaching entrepreneurs. We love entrepreneurs here.
Yes.
In addition to her business background, Mila is a trained Buddhist monk. Whoa, I know a little something about Buddhism. I'll get to that. She's a trained Buddhist monk and has been teaching meditation and mindfulness to help people create inner happiness and outer success. I love that. Yes. I love that. Inner happiness and outer success. Her focus is on coaching leaders and future leaders who can in turn inspire and mentor others. That is boss. I love it. Yeah. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Mila helps her clients to adapt their business to the new normal. You just got finished talking about the new normal. You must be reading my mind, right?
Here, baby.
The new normal is psychic. This guy's psychic. Doesn't have aliens in front of him for nothing.
Exactly.
He's really psychic. The new normal. And to not only survive, but to thrive in the face of adversity. Welcome to the show, Miss Mila Diamond. Give her a hand, huh? This is an accomplished scholar right here. She's done a few things.
Man.
Thank you. What brings you to our part of town?
Oh my goodness. Veronica Steele introduced us.
Veronica Steele
right?
introduced us.
And
Big shout out to Veronica Steele. We haven't
Is she an
spoken.
actress? That's an actress name. Veronica
That's
Steele?
a hell of a name.
Veronica Steele?
Steele Media.
Hollywood name.
Man, Veronica
Steele.
Steele. Yes, I tell her that all the time. That's a hell of a name.
She's amazing.
She
She's
is.
absolutely amazing. And
Yes.
she's such a great connector. So
Yes.
when she told me about
And a great person. Great
yeah,
spirit.
she's wonderful.
Oh
yeah.
my God. I miss talking to you, Veronica, just in case you're listening. Yes, go
Yes,
ahead.
I had her on my podcast, and she's just
Oh, I got to see
full
that.
of light. And
I didn't see
just
that. What's the name of your
beautiful person.
podcast?
Diamond Mind. The name of my
Diamond
business.
Mind.
She keep that thing digging her with the diamonds. She is doing the big
Woo,
stuff.
she's not sleeping. She is using that thing. I got to take a sip of that. Diamond.
She's Rican. She get the money, man. I like that.
Definitely. Diamond Mind. Yes. So, yes, Veronica Steele introduced us.
Yes.
And I was very ecstatic, too, when she introduced us because, in case you guys don't know, one of my goals, one of the reasons why I do what I do is my end game is to wind up doing what you do. Motivational speaking to inspire others to live, have outer success through inner happiness.
I have news for you. You're already doing it.
I am
Yes,
already
we are. We are.
Whoa! Thank you! Hey, you got to start small. You got to start somewhere, man. You got to start somewhere. But you speak in front of hundreds.
Right.
Yes. That's amazing. I actually seen one of your, before we get into, I think this is a good time. I seen one of the
TEDx talk.
the TEDx talk, exactly, where you were talking about, how you go about tapping into inner happiness.
Right.
I have that video right now, and we're going to go into it so that we can show the viewers at home how you go about helping people.
Yeah, little by little.
Little by little. This is it right now.
Life is a jigsaw puzzle. Sometimes we feel incomplete and may spend a lifetime looking for that missing piece. What if I told you that in the few minutes that we have together, you could discover your missing piece? Or at least a path to it. Would you like to explore? Yes. Great. Please sit up with your back straight. It may help to scoop to the edge of your chair. Place your feet flat on the ground and your hands just relax on your knees. Take your right hand and extend it to the right. Not too far, don't poke your neighbor in the eye. Point to the middle of your chest, say, me. Perfect. Bring your attention to that spot. You can simply feel the warmth there, or what I like to do is visualize a beautiful flower, perhaps a rose. This is a very safe space, so I invite you to close your eyes if you'd like and visualize or imagine this beautiful flower, vibrant, soft, and radiant. Imagine that it begins to open one set of petals at a time, slowly and gracefully. As the petals open, they fill your chest. The next set of petals fills your entire body. The next, the entire room, the earth, and the space around. An endless and continual unfoldment. Let all other thoughts fall away. Very nice.
Oh, wow,
Did
wow.
you see that? I'm almost asleep right here.
Yeah.
I'm just very relaxing.
It's
Yes.
supposed to be relaxing, that not supposed to put you to sleep.
Not supposed to put you to sleep.
Right.
Should be energized and clear-headed.
So you talk about in some of the things that you do, you talk about the missing pieces. What is that all about?
Well, you know how sometimes you feel sadness or frustration with life and you don't even know what it is. You can't really put your finger on it. What something is kind of like missing. What is it? Okay, I got my car. Okay, I got my home. I got my wife or husband, whatever. It seems to be like everything. I got my career. But with all of that, still feeling depression or sadness. What is that? Something is missing, right? Because we were looking outside. We never really considered inside. And so we were driven with everything we were accomplishing, we were driven by external goals, somebody else's ideas of what we should be doing, what is success, instead of really knowing what it is for us. And so in meditation, we get to know ourselves. And from that place, sometimes we will have passion discovered or ideas that and goals that we want to pursue that might be different from what we're doing now. But if you pursue your passion that you feel from your heart, from your meditation, that's truly who you are, your purpose on this planet right now at this time, you will be happy, even if whether you have a car or not.
So let me. I'm not to cut you off, but I mean, because I know you talk. But before you answer my question, before I ask it, I'd like to know what really does what significance does meditation really have to do with happiness?
Meditation drops the bullshit.
Whoa!
Wow! Now we're talking. Now we're
talking LA royal language,
Yes.
right? Drop the bullshit. Okay, and keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meditation. I mean, there are many forms of meditation and meditative practices, whatever. The meditation, the way I was taught, it's about truth. And that's why I was wearing that shirt in my talk called
Truth.
Said Truth.
I did notice that. That was a nice shirt.
Bold truth, nothing else.
But the truth.
Yes. So when we meditate, anything that comes into our mind is our monkey mind talking. That's bullshit. Drop it. Just ignore it. You can observe it. Okay, monkey is jumping.
Right.
But I am the one who is observing it. Therefore, I'm not the monkey.
The outer self, the inner self is talking bullshit, but the outer self is a real person. Basically, talking about two peoples. The inner, because the mind, you talk about the mind. You said the mind is telling you to do something, but who's the outer person?
Right.
Didn't you just the other day we were talking, and you said, and you was talking about looking in the mirror. Remember you told me you were telling me about looking in the mirror. You kind of touched on what she's talking about.
Yeah, you have to look in the mirror because that's the outer person. That's what you see. You can close your eyes and think of some stuff and talk about some stuff, and your eyes close and your mind until you do crazy stuff. You look in the mirror and you talk to yourself and you see the person like, hey, it's the person talking to me. I'm talking to that person. This is real stuff.
This is real stuff.
Yeah, this is who I am.
You said, remember when we were talking, you said actors do this all the time.
You have to because for a role that they're playing in a movie, they have to get in the mirror and with their script and portray that person. They have to see that person in the mirror before they see it on camera.
On camera. What do you think about that?
But in order to see something in the mirror, you have to be that person, right?
Yeah.
So our life is like a mirror. It reflects what's inside. If we want our outer situations, our circumstances to change, we have to change inside first. Otherwise, we're looking in the mirror and really hoping it's going to smile at us, but it's not until we smile.
So you're saying if you're looking outside at life and it's ugly, it's because you're ugly on the inside?
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
did you guys hear that at home?
Now you remember King? You remember King? Michael Jackson.
King Michael Jackson.
King,
Mike.
He was after King. He was after Prince.
King of pop.
He was a king.
It's my man.
The man made a song called "Man in the Mirror."
Man in
Do you
the
know the
mirror.
lyrics?
He did. What did he say?
You remember the lyrics? I'm looking in the mirror.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Oh, and no, that from there. Anyway.
But when he's saying, look in the mirror. If you out there killing people, cutting people's head, or selling drugs, those are illegal. look in the mirror. Like, is this me? Am I that person? You know
Is
what I'm saying?
is this what I really
When
want?
I was 7 years old, I wasn't doing that. When I was 7 and 5 years old, and I was 10.
Whoa,
But
talk
now I'm
about
25,
that, man.
30. I'm doing crazy stuff. What's the problem?
You're playing a role.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're playing a role. You're playing a character.
You're acting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
going on. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
I like that when you said when I was 7 years old, when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Because my personal philosophy is that
Yeah.
you are who you really are as a child.
Hmm.
You know, because when you come into this world, you trying to learn who you are. I look at kids all the time,
Right.
and it's just like when I'm talking to a kid, I'm in a whole nother world because
Yes.
their world is a lot different from our world. If you think back when you was a kid, you didn't know nothing about problems.
No.
You was
I
not
know
even conscious
I
of
know
any
anything
of
about
that.
slavery either.
Well, that's a whole other topic.
Because I was a kid.
Yeah,
I seen the roots. That's
but,
hey.
but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you didn't know that the world was cruel.
Right.
Right. Yes. All you knew is what you felt in your heart. But then
Right.
eventually, whoever raised us told us that the world is adversary and that it's an ugly place. And to survive, you have to play a game.
Right.
And so we started putting on those masks.
Wow.
And we started
mask.
losing touch with who we are.
You
And,
you talk about masks. You talk
Yeah.
about you had to.
Actually, a client of mine, Rico Lamit, his TEDx talk was about masks when
But-
we worked on his talk.
But even more importantly, when I was watching, you know, your
Oh,
in that
my
video,
talk.
yes,
Yeah, when
you
I was
talked
talking about that, how do we know our thoughts are our own?
Mm-hmm.
We think everybody else's thoughts. Just because we think it doesn't mean it's ours.
Right.
If there is a thought
Mm-hmm.
that you have in your mind that's kind of repetitive, you know, over and over and over, and maybe it's something that's self-judging or negative thoughts, like something that's disturbing to you. If you keep thinking this thought, whose voice is that? Where did you hear it first? Who did you hear it from? And if you go back, even maybe in your childhood, and you will remember first time you heard that, and you realize that when I'm saying that, I actually, inside of my head, I still hearing that person's voice.
So that brain is recording stuff.
Yes.
all the time.
It's
Player.
Yeah.
recording and
All the time.
it's like a chip.
Yep.
It's a subconscious mind.
Programmed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's holding on to
programmed.
okay.
Yeah, it never
Gotcha.
loses.
It never
It's
loses.
like a disoperating. It just never like random access memory.
Exactly. So we're never free until we drop all that bullshit.
Now,
So how we do that?
That's meditation. We stop thought in meditation. In many forms of meditation, they
Yeah.
tell you think about this, visualize that, follow that person's voice, whatever guided meditation. In the form of meditation I'm talking about, I'm saying stop thought. And there are ways to do that, easy ways to do that. Because when you focus 100%, like nothing else exists, everything else drops. So if you focus that intensively during meditation, one-pointedly on something, whether it's on your breath, whether it's on your energy center, whether it's on a candle in front of you, but you focus 100% to the exclusion of everything else, all bullshit drops.
You know what? Hold up. Listen, I've heard that with the mind from a magician. If you think of something real hard, focus on it real hard, you can make stuff move
Well, yes.
with the mind.
You see, if you
That's how to focus right there, huh?
that's definitely a lot of focus.
look at this. Sun shines. It's kind of the sunlight is spread.
Right.
Everything is warm and pleasant, right?
Right.
You take magnifying glass and put it to the ground. And the sunlight goes through the magnifying glass, focusing. You're going to start a fire.
Start
Yeah.
a fire. That's right.
That's what focus is. So when you focus
That's
in
burning
meditation,
desire.
you
Yeah.
concentrate all your energy, all your life
All
force
energy, yeah.
energy into that one spot. You're going to develop one powerful mind.
One burning
Powerful
desire.
mind. Burning desire.
Now, let me ask you this, because you've obviously been in business for a number of years, coaching
Yeah.
Fortune 500 companies and helping people become successful in different endeavors in different walks of life.
Yeah.
But in your own life, early on, you were diagnosed with TB. Is that correct?
Yes, when I was 3 years old.
3 years old.
3 years old, I grew up in hospitals from 3 until 12.
Just hospitals.
Yeah.
All day, every day?
like first when I got put in the hospital at 3 years old, I was there for over a year.
Wow.
Then they allowed me to come home. I was home for about 3-4 months, went back to the hospital for another 8 months.
Wow.
And so then I'm back for a couple of months and back to the hospitals. And from 7 until 12, I was kind of like in a boarding school hospital. So I would come home on Sundays, but through the week I was there and sleeping there and living there.
What was that like as a child?
It was horrible. I was bullied mercilessly.
I know you were.
Mercilessly.
The food was terrible. You were skinny as heck. I'm pretty sure you was.
Well, it's not that I was skinny.
He was like Jerry's kids, huh?
It's just the kids, those angels.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so vicious.
I know. Kids, come on now. Kids are cruel.
Cruel, very
Come
cruel.
on now. Kids
very
are cruel.
Yeah.
What would they say to you?
I wouldn't dare to repeat here.
Whoa! We're in LA. Just one
this
thing.
Is like,
Okay.
this is
One
ABC.
thing.
This
Just
ain't
one
it's TNT.
I was spat at.
No.
I
Spat?
was yeah.
Spit on.
Spat.
Spitting.
Spit on.
You know, I was.
She's royal.
It's my accent. I was called names. I was pushed.
Why would
and
the-
But you was cute. You're a cute woman now. You was probably a pretty girl.
I was an ugly duckling.
No.
No, she was not
You know
ugly.
the duckling
No.
that grows up in
No,
the
because-
sea?
Listen,
hold on.
look, we got a picture. Let's see the picture.
Because-
Look at that.
Bullshit.
Look at
You was
this.
fucking
Beautiful
fine.
lady.
Look into my eyes. How much pain there is. Like it's.
Well, you like a killer. You like a killer. You like a Lizzie Borden from the.
I
the
actually-
No, this is a beautiful.
but you was fine though.
Is
You was
that,
beautiful.
is that a necklace you have on? Is that?
Yes,
And it has a little heart?
a little heart.
Oh my God. That's,
Yeah, that's what picture.
Your hair was
when I
black
was-
and everything.
Angel.
You was fine, man. What
Yes.
the fuck?
I
You
was
was hot.
I was suicidal.
Whoa.
I can tell.
Did you hear what she just said?
I know.
Yeah.
Suicidal?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with depression when I was 8.
At 8? Who has depression at 8?
Yeah, because I was bullied like that. And
Yeah.
Since 3 years old. I had suicidal thoughts. It was my daily reality. I attempted a couple of times, not successfully.
Whoa. Slow down, player. Where's my whistle at? I don't got my whistle. I usually... Yeah, slow down. You attempted...
I went completely undressed. I was at the hospital, but I went completely undressed in the middle of the Russian winter. I went outside completely like into the forest, and I was hoping I would not come back in the middle of the snow. So I was like,
That was
really,
you were going to freeze to death.
really hoping I
That
would
was
just
your-
freeze. That was my
Death
plan.
by freezing.
What state was that? What state was that? That was
What
cold.
country?
In Moscow.
Oh,
The
Moscow.
I was
You know, I met a guy-
outside.
Are you Russian?
I used to be.
I used to be. I used to be
you-
black.
Not exactly.
Hey, listen.
You see, my family is Jewish.
Yeah.
Right.
And
He's Jewish.
You do it soon.
I know, we talked about it, right? Right. So, because I was Jewish, Russia is extremely, at least former Soviet Union, was
Yeah.
extremely anti-Semitic.
Right.
And so I was
Yeah.
bullied for being Jewish.
I know you was.
And I usually, my family was like in a poor middle class, like the really
Yeah.
poorest level
Yeah.
of middle class. So nobody else around us was Jewish.
Whoa.
Right.
And I got it for everybody.
Wow.
I got it two ways, because they sometimes would say, "Well, you have blonde hair, you don't look Jewish."
Right.
So, I
So you
either
didn't get it from
either they bullied me because I was Jewish, or they didn't
Jews.
know I was Jewish, and they
Right.
were telling shit about Jewish people in front of me because they didn't know I was.
Right.
So I got it always.
And you had a rough life.
So
Yeah.
I've never felt at home there.
So let me ask you, how did, in the midst of all of that,
Yeah.
right, you're going through what you're going through with TB,
Yeah.
you're suffering from depression, you're even thinking that life is not worthy, your life is not even worthy to be lived anymore.
Beyond, it's like I wanted to end it. I had enough.
And you were only at this age, well,
Like 8, yeah, it was like 7, 8. Like
You was a
I don't
little
know
girl.
how I even survived to 8. It
Right.
was so rough.
you were so serious at a young age.
It was really bad. I don't know if I was serious. I was very sad.
So what I'm trying to get to is what did you tap into
Huh? That's
There we go. Tapping.
That's a key question.
Tapping,
Right?
tapping,
How
tapping.
did
to
it change?
bring yourself out of that?
When I was 12 years old, I mean, I kept watching figure skating, and I was like,
Figure
I want to
skating.
figure
I love
skate.
figure skating.
I want to figure skate. I
What's
wanna
the girl
figure
that
skate.
what's the girl that beat up the other girl?
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding. Yeah. Is that why you wanted to be a Tanya Harding? Is that what it was?
No, it was way before Tanya Harding.
Okay.
Way
Well,
before.
but ice skating is big in Russia. Is that
Yes,
correct?
it is big.
It's very big.
So I had this dream. I wanted to fly
wanted to go
across
to the
the
Olympics?
ice. I did want to do that.
Did you?
So at some point, I just said, I just told my mother because it was so bad in the hospital. I said, I'm not going back. I don't care what's going to happen to me.
You made a decision.
I healed from the TB.
Well, she made a
really.
choice.
Hey, she got
And I
she's
just like,
hard, man.
Yes.
I'm not going back. And so I also had scoliosis. So
What?
it was another reason I
Jesus
was at the
Christ.
hospital. And so my TB was out, but my scoliosis was still
kicked
there. I
in,
was
yeah.
wearing like this body brace, you know.
Right.
And I couldn't run, I couldn't jump, I couldn't do anything.
Run,
that I
Forrest,
really
run.
enjoy. Right.
Run right out them braces, right?
I said to my parents, I'm not going back.
Right,
You
right.
can't make me go back. I'm not. I was like, what are you going to do? The doctors freaked out. My mom
They
freaked
freaked
out.
out. What
Freak
you-
out!
I'm not going back. I was like, what are you going to do? I'm going to go figure skating.
Right.
Whoa, you made
Yes.
that's Anthony Robbins calls that a pattern interrupt.
Yes, it definitely
Just
was.
like scratching the record. Just
Yeah, I'm taking my life in my own hands. That's it.
I believe that you're strong person because of your Jewish background.
I'm
Jews
so
are strong.
impressed. I am
Jews are
impressed.
strong, man. We gonna never not give up.
Never.
We're gonna die rich and die trying.
both. Guy Rich is still trying. Huh?
Yeah. So we're not gonna. We not. I mean, you know, we have that spirit, man. That we're not gonna give up.
Unbreakable.
You know, yeah, unbreakable, man. We're not gonna. You know, it just we gonna hold on. We're gonna keep on digging, man. Keep on digging.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yeah, my parents,
you get to the
my
top.
family
Yeah.
is a very strong people. I mean,
Yeah,
they went
very
through
strong people.
Holocaust.
Yeah.
Survivors of the Holocaust. Like most of the family on my mother's side got wiped out completely in gas chambers. Yeah.
That's rough.
So so it's like you survive, you leave, no matter what.
You press forward.
Yeah, you press forward.
Yeah.
So you tapped in,
Yeah.
and so was the figure skating.
It was figure skating for me. I felt so free on the ice.
Did you?
So
I felt like I
when
could
did you put on your
fly.
first pair of skates?
12. So it was kind of already late.
So let's go back because you were telling us how everybody was freaking out. That you
Yeah,
said
it was
you were,
12 years
you
old.
make this
12
decision.
years old, I said, I'm not going back to the hospital. I'm going to figure skating. So I
You know, I got a similar story. I'm gonna tell at 13 I made a decision. I'm gonna tell you my. But anyway, go
One
ahead.
day, yeah.
Yeah. Go
One
ahead.
day.
So you said
I
you
went
said you're
to
figure
public
skating.
I went to public school and enrolled in figure skating. And
Mm-hmm.
I just pretty much, I would be in school until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
At 2:30, I was already on the ice
Mm-hmm.
until 11 until it closed.
Wow, she was dedicated.
Hours.
Dedicated. This is I'm listening to her, and I really don't think about this often, but sometimes I do. And it's very seldom I would think about something like this on the air. But when you say that you made this decision at 12, I made a decision at 13.
Yes. What
It
is it?
was- I felt the same way. I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. You can't take me back to the Kingdom Hall.
What, be short?
No, my mom was a Jehovah's Witness. So my mom was a Jehovah's Witness.
Is that right?
And I used to have to go out and knock on people's doors.
I hated that.
And read Watchtower in the Wake. I know
Yeah.
I was, we didn't celebrate
None of that.
holidays. None of
Nothing.
that.
Nothing.
Right. And so at 13,
So why you call it a black holiday?
I never thought about that. That's a good one.
Came out, man. I'm sorry, man.
She's that would complete.
Black holiday.
You didn't get that.
I don't get it.
Jews. Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate holidays,
Right.
but I call myself Black
Holiday.
Holiday. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you
I never
said-
thought about that.
That's
good.
It's way
Hey.
in the back. It's way in the back of your mind, right? You can't be too serious for too long on this show. It's gonna come out. And listen, but anyway, so I told my mom, I said, and so she called the elders of the congregation.
Wow.
I remember this.
They're
were
going to
all
slay you.
in my living
They're
room.
going to stone you.
They were all in my living room, right?
Right.
And they're trying to convince me to stay a part of the organization.
Right.
Don't you want to live forever in a paradise system?
No.
I said, no. Just gonna keep living?
If this
That's
is a
boring.
paradise, I don't want any
Just
part
gonna
of
live and live and live. There's gotta be an end date on this. The show just don't stop, man.
Right.
Come on, like Harry True.
Harry's still rolling.
Yeah. So I said,
Yeah.
no. I do not want to live forever in a pair. You know what I want to do?
What?
I seen something too. She's
What'd you
seen
see?
ice cream.
What'd you
You know
see?
what I seen?
What?
The hustlers on the street. I said, I want to go out there with them. I want to go get some money.
Yeah.
I want to go do it, baby.
Yes.
And so that there started my life of.
God.
Wow. You know,
Yes.
told me about you was Joe Witness, man.
Well, you know,
They mess us
Mila
up,
brought it
so-
out of me, man. She just she dug deep
That's
right there.
good.
Yeah.
I had a
She took me
wife that
back.
was Joe Witness. When I married her, I divorced her within the same month.
Oh my God.
Man, I only married her for the new car. She said, I'm getting a new car. I said, come on, get a new car. Let's get married.
You said get a new car. Let's get married.
Yeah, she bought me a new car, and I married her. And that,
You married her for a new car?
for
A new car.
a new car.
You married her for a new car.
Why not?
Why not?
It's a brand new car.
Brand new. What year was it?
2012.
In
right.
2012?
Yes, it was.
What kind of car?
Chevy Malibu.
Malibu. Was she rolling? Rolling. Yes. And then you guys broke up.
Yes, because she no holidays, no nothing. She was
Boring.
Because she was a witness. She
Jehovah's
was
Witness.
a devout.
Devout.
I said, you
couldn't do
boring.
it.
I can't do it.
I don't know how she met you anyway. You know they're not supposed to mate. They're not supposed to go outside the congregation. They're supposed to. Jehovah's Witness supposed to mate with Jehovah's Witness.
I met her through a family member,
Oh, family member. Yeah.
but she was boring. She was
Have you talked
plain.
to her?
How
Plain
did she
Jane.
talk you into it?
The new car.
Was a new car smell? Yes, yeah. Hey, listen. Now you showed us a picture of yours. We've seen a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
When you were young. I have a picture of someone that I'd like you to help, and I want to show you a younger picture of them. Can we see that picture, please? Oh my God! Do you know who that is?
No.
That's this guy.
That's me.
What do you think? Do you think meditation can help him?
Of course.
Of course.
Look at him. No, hold on.
Look at this guy. You
look
see
at
all
him.
this? Do you see all
This
this?
guy is rock stone.
He's hard.
Listen,
Hardcore.
man,
What are
unpierceable.
Are those lokes?
If you can pierce the skin, you good.
Are those lokes?
I am so hard.
My
Those
God.
are the best.
I am.
people
Listen,
to
I am
learn
death row hard.
I'm running.
Have you
I've seen
heard of death row? Not the record label, but the type about the prison.
the real
They put
deal.
you in about to die and by the mother too. I'm the type of hard.
Woo!
Okay, let's see what you got. Come on with it.
What would you say?
Well,
what would you say for this guy?
I would say that people who had it this bad don't waste opportunities.
Right.
And if given the right opportunity, people like you will succeed way before anyone who had a good life.
Well, he's already succeeding. He's
succeeding now.
show him. Show him. Look at his
Look,
success.
look, look,
Yeah,
look,
you
look,
got
look.
success. Look at this.
Listen.
Look at that.
There we
They're
go.
succeeding.
Yes.
Look at that.
2015.
What is them hundreds? Big faces?
I've been having money since 2015. I've been having money like that, and instead of money to
Look
right
at this
now.
guy. Look at this guy, man.
Doesn't-
And look at that. Look at you talk about the look in her eyes. Look at the look in his eyes.
Right.
Hungry. Stay hungry.
Whoa! Look at
Successful.
that. See, he's already successful. Where you going there, sir?
I'm just clowning.
Oh, you just clowning? Just throwing a suit just for
Just
the day? Huh?
posing.
Yeah, just because.
Yeah.
Yes.
Showing off.
You know what though? You know what? See, you have to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an individual. I know that I am a solid person. I'm truthful. I will not fold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will not. Remember with the feds? I
Yeah.
didn't tell on nobody.
Right.
Because you know why?
Oh, wait a
I
minute,
felt
wait a minute.
it was
Wait a
wrong.
minute, wait a minute. Tell me what you told them when they came in and act. What did they?
The
tell me about
lawyer?
that. Yeah, but the lawyer. What did he say? How
I
did
said,
how
dude,
did that go?
you come in there one more time, I'll tell him I'm gonna fuck you up. Beat your ass right. I'm gonna whoop your ass right in this goddamn. I'm gonna knock you out right up this goddamn room.
because they kept what?
He wanted me to tell on somebody.
He wanted you to. And what?
On
what did-
Bill.
I know Bill.
Yeah. I said, dude. I said, what the fuck wrong with you? You crazy? I know this guy for 30 years. That's my friend.
Yeah.
I'm telling my own friend for. What the fuck wrong with you?
Loyalty is royalty.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but they wanted you to do it.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
So it was tail and what was the choices? Tail and what?
Well, I'll do my 17 years.
No. But if you would have told, what would have happened?
I'd probably be dead right by now.
So
I would've
really
made it.
It really wasn't no choice.
I would've
right?
made it. I
There
would've
wasn't
made it.
no
But
choice.
you
But I
know
mean, the
what, though?
feds don't say that. They
Yeah.
say if you tell, you can
Get time off.
get time off.
But still, it's just that even though I didn't know how the feds went, I myself, as an individual, wasn't gonna tell on no man that I know of. I ain't supposed to put no other man in jail.
Right.
I'm already in jail. I fucked up. Let's do the time. Let's go. But
Now,
Yeah.
when we talk about, I know you're sitting here and you're like,
Damn.
No, I'm with you.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but when you talk about, because a reason I bring this up is because you talk about post-traumatic stress.
Stress
Yeah,
disorder,
what is
yes.
that? Explain that.
They talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what happens when you have a trauma, whether, let's say, for example, in early childhood, something happened, the emotions that you felt, the negative emotions.
My mom died when I was 15.
There we go. The emotions that you felt, that fear of being abandoned, probably.
Right.
Anger, not understanding. Yes, because it's like, she's not supposed to leave me. Why did she leave me? Right?
Right.
Yeah. So that fear and anger anchored with that fear of being abandoned.
Right.
Right?
I was alone.
Yeah. So what's going to happen if you don't resolve it, for example? So you have repressed emotions, like, you're a man, right?
Right.
Or a woman. They say, you mourn, you grieved for 2-3 months, time to go on, right?
Right.
Time to let it go.
Yeah.
But those emotions are suppressed, and they're going to be triggered every single time. You get into a relationship, instead of feeling loving and being open to love, being open to being loved and loving, you are afraid that it's going to end, because immediately your association with affection, with love, is she's going to leave me, right? So you get triggered every time those emotions come in.
Right.
Something takes something from you, and immediately something taken from me.
Let me ask you, because that you touched on something that was kind of is important, and you were talking about when people are used to something being taken away from them. You almost made it seem like they kind of project it. When things do come in that are good for them,
yes,
they kind of project
afraid, that
it's going to be taken away.
Yeah, the emotions, instead of being kind of, yes, thank you, I'm taking it, I am worthy of love, receiving it,
yes, with an open heart.
You go into, at some point when it gets outside of your comfort zone, in your amygdala section of the brain, the one that takes you into your set point, you go beyond that, you freak out. That's a trigger. You get triggered, and all of a sudden you pull away from that relationship.
Right.
Wow.
You leave.
Yeah, I've done it before. I've left a lot of chicks. I said, listen, you know what? It ain't working out, man.
Wow.
But it was because it was triggered.
Yeah,
How many? Let me ask you this: do you feel that is this something that women? I'm just sitting here thinking.
Yeah.
I know someone, right? And I've gone through this just recently, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking about this particular individual, and I'm wondering if that is why. That is why they may have done some of the things that they did.
Well, I don't know that particular individual you're talking about, but it is very common.
It's
very common because if you experienced trauma, like serious trauma, and it wasn't resolved fully, it's going to get triggered. You can brush it under the rug.
Resolve.
Yes, it wasn't resolved.
That's a good thing, right? You give out so much information.
Yeah, you do.
Very quickly.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
But in every sentence, there's a lot of power.
Yeah.
And there's power in what you just said, resolve.
Resolve.
Let's talk. Let's
talk
talk
about
about
that.
that.
Yeah,
But before we get into that, I want to. There's a person called Dr. Joy, I don't know, Gurry Leary, but anyway, she talks about post-traumatic slave disorder. I have a clip of her, let's check her out real quick. She's going to tell us.
Trauma, in its very, clinical sense. My background, clinical psychology, understanding what trauma is. People can experience a single trauma, one trauma, indirectly, meaning that they didn't have to be present for the direct trauma. Meaning, say, for example, you all heard about 9/11 and taking down the buildings in New York, right? Yes? 9/11. Everybody in the world got told about that. Matter of fact, I think everybody in America got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of that. But I would submit to you we were traumatized long before that. But there were individuals that were at ground zero, and I know them. My niece was in one of the buildings. So she decided, while she was in one of the buildings, they kept telling her, just stay where you are. They kept saying, stay where you are. We think people should stay where they are. She said, and everything in her mind said, get out. So she got out. Matter of fact, she leapt over the security guard to get out of the building. And it's a good thing she did. But During that time, there were people at ground zero, for example, like my niece. And there were people who watched it on television. And then there were people in other countries who heard about it. So there are varying levels of understanding around this trauma that happened in the United States. There were people at ground zero, were there, saw folks falling out the sky, got videotape footage of it, watched it on television, invited folks over and drank beer. Not traumatized. No trauma. There were people maybe in another country, in Brazil, saw it on television, in psychotherapy right now, can't get on planes, on medication, and people talk softly to them twice a week. So the variance in terms of those who are traumatized by a traumatic event and those who are not, we're unique as individuals. Everybody's not traumatized by a traumatic event, whether it's direct or not. But when we start talking about chattel slavery, we're not talking about one trauma. We're not talking about a specific event. We're talking about generations of trauma with no intervention. Based on what I know about sugar plantations, tobacco, and the Caribbean, what I know about American chattel slavery and the plantations there, does anyone right now ever recall mental health assistance to slaves? Anybody remember sending in the therapist after I sold off your son, daughter, raped folks? At any point? Never. Second question. After slavery was officially over, now you're free. Anybody remember any therapy then? We know it's been rough, it's been deep for you, it's been difficult. We're going to do a little group therapy. Anybody remember that? That would be no. Number 3, after slavery officially ended, both in the States, in the Caribbean, the British ended, do you remember whether or not trauma continued? Did the trauma continue for people of African descent? I need to know. Okay, so now let's do the math. Hundreds of years of trauma, no treatment. Freed, more trauma, no treatment. What do you do the math? Do you think there may be residual impacts of that trauma? Of course there is. It didn't end, friends, and it hasn't ended yet.
That's it.
Yeah.
Who is this one woman?
Very much,
That is
yeah.
Dr. Joy DeGiro Leary. Hopefully I'm saying that word.
I need to see her.
She is not a joke.
Right.
You look her up on YouTube. She goes into this thing. That was the soft version.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She gets a little hard in the game.
She strips them.
Yeah.
She strips it down.
Yeah.
But, when we talk about trauma, that's amazing because, the spirit never lies, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember right when I was about to get out of prison. It was about, I'd done it almost 13 years. Mm-hmm. And I said, I went to the psychiatrist. I said, well, I'm about to get out.
Right.
And
was you happy?
Oh, hell yeah, I was happy, right? But I was a little leery at the same time.
Me too. Yeah,
because I don't know
what's happening next.
What to expect. I've been talking to people on the phone. They're telling me this. They're telling me that. So I said, I know that I've been over a decade in prison and I've seen a lot of things, and I might need some therapy. Do you have?
Interesting.
Yeah. Is there any available? Like, I am talking to the psychiatrist right now on the yard. This is who you go to talk to if you want to kill yourself, right? You go to talk to this person. If you're having problems psychologically, you go to talk to this person. But when I wanted to talk to her about these subtle, they only get involved when the ambulance is about to come. When it's too late, right. So, but I'm about to encounter a new world, a new car. A new world.
I'm
about to go into a new world because, it's 2010. And when I came in, it was the 90s.
Right.
Totally different ball game. And guess what she said?
What did she say?
There's nothing for you.
Stick yourself.
Go on out there. Enjoy.
Stick yourself.
Have you ever seen what is that movie with Morgan Freeman. Is it Morgan?
Oh yeah, Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. It's Tom Hanks. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a great
Is
movie.
Morgan Freeman
Great
in there?
movie.
Is
Yeah,
Morgan-
yeah.
Shawshank Redemption. The guy was in there 30
That was
years.
a sad movie, man. It was sad.
The guy was in
It
there
sad,
30
remember?
But it
years.
was such a determination.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got the hell up out of there.
He got up out of there. But the guy that was in there 30 years, that's the one that stuck
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
And he went home
Yeah.
and he was bagging groceries. And at the end of it all, he hung himself.
Right.
Because he could not-
assimilate.
Okay, listen. No more hanging. Listen, I have to confess. I hung myself before. But it hurted pretty goddamn bad.
It's not funny.
It should hurt it.
How come every time you say something, I hung myself,
I
you bust out into a
was in
laugh.
county jail.
Whoa!
Were you drunk?
Look at you.
You hung yourself?
Listen, I was facing.
You never told me
I
this.
was facing. I got stories, man. Listen,
not funny.
I was facing 3 strikes. I was in the county jail.
Facing
4,700.
4,700. Right next to 4,800.
I had 4,700, and I was done. So I said, man, I was in my.
I just want to know. I'm silent because I need to know.
No.
How the hell did you get out of this one, player?
Well, I was hanging myself. I was hanging. I was hanging. It hurt, man. I said, I'm happy as hell.
Fuck this shit! Oh my God! I'm about to
It was
fall out
hurt,
of
man.
jail.
Hey, dying hurts.
Were
There's
you able
pain
to
and
pull
death.
yourself
There's
back
even
up?
pain and death. He said she pulled yourself up. How did you get out the news?
How did you get out?
How did you do that?
Strong
A dude
enough?
said,
Pull yourself.
a dude said, A player.
Even hanging, you was still a player. You was a hanging player. Oh my God. He's an A player.
Hey, he's an A player, man. I see you got your Gators on, man.
Your Gators.
I had Gators on.
You still had on your
Because
clothes?
you keep your shoes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was fly. And he said, man, come down for that, man. Come on down, man. He said, if you don't come on down, man, they gonna cut your ass down.
What was he? Wait a minute,
He was
man.
Vasily.
This guy was just sitting there watching you hang
Yeah, he don't give a fuck. He got his own time to do.
And you said he got. What is it? I had enough of this shit.
That could be
Come on down from there. Get the fuck. What are
I
you
said,
doing?
no, I'm done, man. I'm done, man. It's over,
He said, I
man.
see you got the Gators off. That saved your life. The vine never forgets.
Yeah.
When he told you about the Gators, you said, "That's right, I am a player." Let me get down from here.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, I got tears in my eyes, literally. This dude, oh my God.
Hey,
Do you have help for him?
listen.
Don't worry about me right now.
Listen, we had the hottest show on YouTube, man. Hottest show.
Hottest show. If you don't know,
Hottest
you
show.
will
We
figure it
got
out.
hot show.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah,
Do you
that show's
have
the
help for
bomb.
this man?
No.
Absolutely.
Listen.
He's
I am
he's
strong.
I will wait. Get him first.
Hey, listen. I've seen people die in front of me,
Yeah.
and it didn't faze me not one bit. Because you know why?
Why?
Because that's their death. I have my own to look after. It's coming up.
Right.
Fuck their shit. I got my own.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, dead man. I mean, I see people literally just die, turn blue in front of me.
Yeah.
Give up the ghost. Just boom, he's out of here. But hey, I got my own to think about.
So you the one that, people
What?
flying out the window, you drinking a beer. You ain't tripping.
It doesn't faze me. Listen, I'm unfazable.
Unfazable.
Like you said, when my mother died when I was younger,
that was
I
the
want
one.
to
Get him, go get him.
It's right there.
Go get him, Diamond.
It's right there.
Get him, Diamond.
Because you got hurt so much.
young, yeah, at a young age.
It's like, yeah, exactly. So when you get triggered, like you pretty much protect yourself from being triggered.
Yeah,
You protect yourself from feeling. You don't want
Right.
to feel. You don't want to empathy because you don't want to feel pain.
right.
That's
A lot of women tell me, why you want to break up with me now? I said, well, because if I don't do it now, now it's better than later.
I get you before you get me.
And listen. Hey, listen. When moms die, I want a serious robbing spree.
Oh, well, how old were you?
Like 15.
15.
had to go.
Yeah.
I did some bad things. About 15 robberies
Well,
the whole day.
I want you confessing now.
No, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
15 robberies. That number.
Woo, don't talk about
But you know what? No, but you know what? Is the whole thing is that I know I was hungry. I was out in the street, so on my own. But the whole thing is that I had to eat. I'm saying I'm surviving. It's like being out in the wilderness.
I go hard
Well,
because
it was both. You were hungry, but you also had to do something that had such a strong, such powerful adrenaline that would pretty much just close you from to the feelings.
From the pain. Yeah,
you didn't want to feel that.
Right. Because it's devastating. Your mom's died, man. That's devastating, man. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. But as a boy, you were raised to not show your feeling, not to feel your feeling, to stuff it down. Yeah. So instead of actually going through grief, you had to do it somehow.
Okay, tell me this. Why that, okay, I'm in a relationship right now, and, and when I do something bad or whatever, or something that she doesn't like, and she argues about it, I look at it and start laughing. Like, oh yeah,
you start laughing.
Yeah, to me it's funny. Like, yeah, whatever, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I mean.
Don't she get even mad more? Don't she get more upset when you do that?
Who really cares?
Whoa, who really cares?
Yeah, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've done it before. I said, why are you laughing? I mean, we have this conversation. I was like, because you fired. Get out of here. Next,
you're fired.
You're fired.
Trump, you're fired.
Yeah, you're fired. Because listen, I'm hard, man. I'm hard to the core. Listen, man, I can't be changed, man. I'm like, I'm harder than what's that dude's name? This in prison right now for killing the Folgers people. The Folgers.
I don't know him.
Yeah, you know him. He killed the Folgers lady. That owned the Folgers franchise. Manson. I'm Manson hard.
No, that's Hines.
No. It's Manson.
No, Manson. But I think it wasn't Folgers. I thought it was Hines or something.
No, it was Folgers.
Was it Folgers?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. Was it Folgers Poetess?
Yeah, it was Folgers.
Oh, I don't think it was.
But anyway, listen, man. I just became a hard person. I became stone hard. I don't really give a fuck about a lot of shit. Nothing phases me. Death or nothing of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what happened was you figured out how to cope with the pain.
Right.
Without resolving it.
Right.
So it's a crutch for you to just stuff it down not to feel anything.
Yeah.
Not to feel anything.
No feel it.
There's no connection.
Turn your back from it.
And so there will always be this loneliness inside.
Right.
That's completely unresolvable until you're willing to face your demons.
With who?
With someone like me.
Listen.
Where they at?
Listen. Before we go, I just wanted to, this was a very, this was a different show.
A different show.
This is a different, like how they say, a different world. This is a different show. Well,
you know what though? Yeah. Listen, man, we're LA Royal, man.
Oh yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
We are a comedy team.
No, but
we get serious, but but sometimes comedy just happen to come out.
Hey, listen,
and laughter it heals everybody.
It heals the soul. That's your healing. That's a healing. Listen, I remember I had to learn how to laugh. When I was in school, I was a class clown.
Me too. I was a class clown in school.
Right?
That was.
But
fuck school. Fuck school.
But
school is bullshit.
But listen, somewhere along the line, I stopped laughing.
Right.
Did you?
Yeah. It was probably
around
that. It was around that time when I told the Jehovah's Witness people that I didn't want to live forever. You know what I'm saying? And so when I said that I wanted to go out on the streets.
Yeah.
And hustle and do the things that.
What they say?
Hustle. Well, they wasn't laughing out there. They wasn't laughing out there.
Right.
They wasn't, nobody's smiling. You hear that ghetto, you hear the songs they talk about it also. Ain't no love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You didn't cry. You didn't laugh.
I didn't cry.
No
oh my God. I remember, listen, I didn't cry from 13. I remember my mom was the first time I went to jail, my mom turned me in. Well, this is a really this is getting deep, right? Yeah. But this was the first time I went to jail. I was 13, right? Look what you're doing to us.
I know, huh?
Right? You're just peeling all the layers back off of all of us.
Right, I do that.
But since I started this story, let me tell it. Let me just tell
you.
So this we talk about crying. So wow. Anyway, do you remember the Juvenile Justice Center?
Of course.
Okay, Juvenile Justice Center. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know nothing about this. So at this particular time, I had a warrant out for my arrest, right? And so, stuck in. And so my mom said, well, it wasn't necessarily a warrant. It could have been I had got arrested.
Yeah.
And my mom said, well, we got to go see the people, so you don't go to jail or what have you, or whatever. So, because I know they told us to come back because I had ran away. I was doing everything that I wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
I was an incorrigible youth. That's what they were calling me. And so, you know, I trusted my mom. Hey, yeah, Mom, let's go on down here. At this time, I wasn't even staying with her. I was staying with my friend down the street. She crept up on me. I was at the store playing video games, and she came in. But she had made it seem like it was cool to stay there because she had already talked.
Ratted you out.
Well, no, she didn't. That's not. We didn't get to the rat part yet. But anyway, she had already talked to my friend's mom. They had to sit down. And since they said, well, since he's already running away, just go ahead and let him. She agreed that I could say. So I thought everything was cool.
Right.
A couple days later, she crept up on me at the store. It was a school day. I was supposed to be in school. Like you, I was saying, fuck school. Yeah. Anyway, so playing. And so she said, well, come on, we got to go. I said, okay, this makes sense. Let's go down here. So we go down there. And we get down to Juvenile Justice Center. Unbeknown to me, I didn't know that was Juvenile Justice Center. So they said, hey, come with us. Let's go in here. And we went in here and we went behind this door. And I never forget
that door.
The way that door closed. Because I kept hearing that door for a while. I'd never heard it before in my life.
Right.
But that door, you know what them doors is heavy?
I know, prison doors.
Yes. That door closed, it was like, kaboom.
Locked in.
Damn.
Solid door. That's a solid door.
Solid, yeah. So I went on back, and then they took me into the holding cell.
Yeah.
Just a bench.
Yeah.
A concrete bench.
Okay.
And you know how they have like that glass right there, you know, where they can see you.
Yeah, you can't see them.
You can't see them, right? Yeah. And so it was just me and another guy in there, right? Yeah. And I was like, where the hell are we? What is this?
What planet is this?
What is this? It's definitely different from anything I've ever saw before. And he said, you don't know where you at? I said, no, I don't know where I am. He said, how you get here? I said, my mom brought me here. He said, your mom?
Right.
I said, yeah. He said, man, you don't know you in jail. I said, jail?
He shocked
said, yeah. He said, after they in court, and after they come back from court, they're going to take you to juvenile hall. I said, what?
You can believe it.
Couldn't believe it. That was the last time I cried. Couldn't believe it. I had been betrayed.
Right.
By my own mother.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that creates PTSD.
That creates PTSD.
Yeah, because
definitely.
You felt betrayed.
Listen, I had 2 deaths in my family while I was in prison. My sister and my brother. You know, they family. And my siblings. I couldn't cry.
Yeah. You become completely numb. You can't laugh all the way. You can't really cry. Yeah. You can't feel other people's pain.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
It's like cut off.
It was cut off. I couldn't cry. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I mean, my brother and sister would die, man. That's kind of fucked up shit.
Where do we go after all of this? Where do we go? What's the transition? How did you get past all
What's the end game?
Yeah. You will have to be willing to face all of those inner pain and resolve it. It will be, I don't recommend do it on your own. Just find somebody to work with.
And how would you work with them?
When I work with people, we actually talk about it like we talk about it now. You tell me your story. We go deep. While you're still here, you know, kind of we discussing it. Like, and you feel it, not feeling, whatever. We start meditating, going deeper, more like a guided meditation. I guide you more like a hypnotic meditation. I don't call it hypnosis, but it's like hypnotic meditation. We go really deep. Regressing back to the earliest times where you felt these feelings. Perhaps even before something happened, you had early occurrences. You see, complex PTSD is when something happens and you don't resolve it, and then something else happens and this gets triggered. You think it's this situation, but no.
It's not different,
All the emotions get triggered and it created compound effect. And something else happens again and something else again. Like a lot of things happen, like some people go, let's say, to military, to the Army or Navy, and on top of all of their PTSD that they had through childhood, they also pile in the combat PTSD. And they come back home and they don't know how to assimilate and how to come. And so they're like cutting themselves completely of all the feelings. So we have to unpack it completely. It has to be unpacked.
I used to have a therapy when I got to jail, and I used to always try to flip stuff that she used to tell me. I flip it on her. And I'm telling you, man, it was a game. It was fun. It was fun. Listen. It got real serious, man. I fell in love with her, man. I wanted to hit.
You wanted to, that
You
means
what?
I wanted to
sex.
make love to her.
He wanted to have,
And she was so sexy, she was so intelligent. I mean, that turned me on.
hey, I don't know if there's any shame in this guy.
I'm just saying,
This
man.
lady's trying to help her. You want to have sex with her.
Hey, it turned me on, man. It was
Hey,
great. It was
listen.
great. It was great.
Hey, listen, we are getting. You know what, Miss Mila Diamond? I don't think you have enough time to help us today. I don't think there's enough.
Maybe
There might not be enough time to help.
LA
us.
Royal
Hey,
in the building.
LA Royal is definitely in the building. But I do want to thank you for coming on the show. This
Yes,
is really.
Mila.
This has been a show like none other. Yes, let's give it a second. Let's give her a
Yes.
hand. Most definitely.
Thank you.
This has been a show like none other. I felt a lot of emotion on this
Yes.
show, both for myself and for
See,
everybody
there's
here.
hope right there.
There's
You feel
hope.
emotion.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you're starting to get in touch with your heart.
Well, I've already
You know
started.
what? I don't know what emotion is.
Yeah.
I'm never emotional.
This guy's not that
Okay.
hard, man. This guy, hey, listen,
Can I
he's
say-
hard, but he's not that damn
Listen.
hard.
Can I say something
Yes,
before
yes,
we finish?
yes.
Go ahead.
In our culture, we were taught that women are heart and compassion,
Right.
and men are power. Well, it's actually reversed. If we want to evolve, women need to step into their power and own their power.
Right.
Men need to get in touch with their heart. And that's how we evolve. So if you want to grow, if you have this growth mindset, you need to get in touch with your heart as a man. As a woman, I am.
Is that possible?
It's definitely
Of course.
possible.
I just want to know. 'cause
And
I-
on that
I
note,
mean, I work with people
yeah.
that went through things.
on that note,
Yeah.
we're going to have to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Listen, Miss Mila, I want to thank you for coming in
Miss
with
Mila.
us today.
Yes.
Miss Mila Diamond. Miss Mila Diamond.
Check
you
her out
guys,
on her
check her out.
own podcast. What is it?
is the
Diamond
name of your
Mind.
Diamond
Is it
Mind?
M-I-N-D or M-I-N-E?
M-I-N-D.
M-I-N-D.
It's a diamond mine.
She's digging for real gold, man.
She's
She's
definitely
doing
different.
big stuff.
She
man.
dug on us. She pulled some stuff
She's a
out
bomb,
of us.
man.
Yes, yes.
When we'll have her again one day on our show, man. She's a bomb, man. She's
Definitely. We will have her back.
she's family.
Yes,
she's
yes.
Jewish.
She's in. And
Yeah.
listen, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to us. Once again, if you haven't done so, please check us out online at LA Royal on Facebook.
Yes.
Check us out on Instagram, LA Royal 2020. Check us out at Black Grind. What do you have? You have anything online, 50 D'Artagnan McGee?
LA Royal, baby.
You
LA.
guys might want to check him out. He always got stuff for sale, man. You might want to check him out.
Well, you know.
All right. So, hey, listen, thanks for tuning in, and we
Yes.
will see you guys next time. Until then, stay loyal and stay on
Stay
LA Royal.
Yes. 150. It's the LA Wake Up Show, man. LA Royals in the building, man. Come on, man. Get your thing on, man.
And we are LA Royal. Don't play with me.
LA Royal, LA Royal.